Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back. Force here, and I am here to let you know that I am back to Tamriel. I know this isn't some awful song. It's an update. It's a status update. If you're wondering, Force, where have you been this past week? Where are all your videos? I've just gotten sucked right back in the psychological games that these developers play to make you want to continue to play their titles are working on me. Yes, I am weak-minded, but at least I'm aware of the fact that this is what's happening, and it's working its magic. So in the background, you're going to see some footage of me and a buddy clearing a dungeon. And I'm not here to specifically to talk about that. You can enjoy that gameplay for what it's worth. I'm just here to just chat about, like, how did this happen? What's happening? How's the experience been? All of that. So the first week was kind of rough, not gonna lie. Beyond login problems, mainly just long queue times during peak hours, as you expect, but it's annoying. You purchase a product, you expect to be able to play it. When you can't, it's kind of frustrating, even with the understanding of why it's happening. And then there was some bugginess in towns, probably because the towns were just overloaded with people. Like, everyone on the entire server was all funneled into just a handful of towns, and that's going to create some problems there. Since then, it's smoothed out a bit, partially because the player base is leveling at different speeds, so the population is spreading out amongst the zones, partially because some people probably just stopped playing. That's just the nature of things. But I have not stopped playing. In fact, I've continued to obsessively play. Again, well aware that it's the reward loop that they give you that makes you want to keep playing. It's the satisfaction of leveling up. It's the satisfaction of acquiring new pieces of gear. But I've already played this game. You know, I played for several hundred hours during the beta and the launch of the PC version. I played the crap out of it, but I am just right back in. You know, they've made improvements to the game, which has been great. It's nice to see that it's a little bit less buggy, sans the launch week issues that we just discussed. The overall game experience has been great. Performance has been astonishing, because I expect very little from consoles. No offense to purely console players, but generally, console game performance is just subpar compared to PC game performance because of the amount of hardware that goes into it, and usually there's a price discrepancy there as well. You know, I spent several $1,000s on my PC. If you compare that to a piece of hardware that only costs $400, you will expect a difference there. But I've been impressed. I really have. The overpopulation of the towns during the first week, it did cause latency problems in the towns. Outside of those towns, there was never an issue, and now there's never an issue anywhere. It's been a smooth ride, and I'm happy to see that. As I talked about in another video, just giving my impressions of the console version, the gameplay is great on the controller. I don't know what it is. It just feels really good. And I think the biggest thing, and again, what you're seeing there in the background, is that I'm finally playing with friends. I'm playing with real good buddies, and we're having a fantastic time leveling. One of the cool things about ESO, it's a blessing and a curse depending on what you think about the gameplay. You know, I've talked about just ad nauseum in the past how I feel about it, and just, I guess the summary is, it's a fun world to explore. I enjoy a lot of the visual aspects, not the mind-blowing graphical fidelity, because it doesn't have that, but the artistic design, the layout, and the color palette that they've chosen. I've enjoyed the world that they've crafted in ESO, and the gameplay for me, it's not perfect, but I overall think it's all right, but it's definitely not my favorite type of combat system. But just the way it controls on a gamepad, I think, is just perfect. And it makes sense because it's a game that's got crosshairs, and you line your crosshairs up with your target, and you pull the trigger or you hit the button. So it makes sense that it would work, and I think fundamentally that's good. The game still continues to lack the impact that I wish it had. But overall, once you get used to the combat, it's really good. But anyways, the point I was saying was that something that I think is a blessing and a curse with this game is if you enjoy the gameplay, or at least if you think it's all right and you want to continue to explore the world, it is a massive world to explore. I think I heard this somewhere, and I'm not sure if there's any truth to it, so please fact check me and correct me if I'm wrong. But this, I believe, but with the exception of like Eve, that this is one of the largest game worlds ever to launch for an MMO. Like, just the actual amount of landmass and areas to explore, it is massive. It is unbelievably huge. And again, if you like the gameplay, there is just so much content here. Several hundred hours worth of content. And I'm digging it so far. We still haven't even left the first real zone, the first of 5 in each of the alliances, and we have to have put in at least 10 hours. We might even be closer to 15 or 20. I haven't been keeping track, and that's just in the first of 5 zones. And then we go on to the 5 additional alliance, and the 5 after that. There's 15 total, plus Cyrodiil, and then some smaller starters. But it's like crazy. it is crazy, the landmass, the amount of quests and just everything. And again, if you like it, there's so much of it to be had, and that's something that's I'm enjoying the process of now, and I'm really looking forward to doing more of it. And then we hopped in our first dungeon together, and you're seeing some gameplay of us two-manning it here. And oh, it's great. It's just great. I'm really just here to tell you I'm having a great time, and you know, I can hear it now. I can see the naysayers. I'll just scroll down in the comment section of this video, and you're gonna see it. Well, why were you playing this subpar MMO? There's much better MMOs out there. And then beneath that, there will also be comments, why are you playing a subpar version of this MMO? You could play the PC version. You have a PC. You just talked about it. And you have access to other MMOs. It really doesn't matter. And it's always a strange discussion to have with people. Like, why play X when you could play Y? It's like, well, because I'm enjoying X for different reasons. I'm sure I would enjoy Y as well. And I've played Y in the past, but I'm just not playing it right now. Like, it's just a strange conversation we have. And I'm not here to defend myself, because there will always be naysayers. No matter what you do in life, no matter what you say, someone will always disagree with you. Some people disagree with you just because they want to have something to argue about. Some people have valid points, but it's a difference of opinions. We're different people. And that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to talk with you about how these past couple of weeks have been going and what I've been doing. Again, I've been head on. We're leveling up our newbie characters because I'm leveling with my friends, and they're new to the game. But then I also have my higher level character who is currently VR level 11, and I've been doing some AoE grinding, and that might sound like pulling teeth to people, but I actually really like it, because there's like this element of danger in seeing of how large of groups can you pull at once and try to AoE them down without dying. And plus there's massive rewards if you can do it properly and efficiently when it comes to gold and stuff. And some people hate that about MMOs. To me, there's something strangely cathartic about it. Like, I actually really like it. And again, that might be attributed to the psychological games that these games play on you. And it's probably not a good thing. I should probably talk to someone about it. But I enjoy grinding. That's a problem, right? I need to see somebody. You guys want to chat? Any of you sanctioned psychologists? I don't know. You know what? And something, I talked about this on Twitter today too. It's interesting, but I really feel like the console version has given this game a second life. And that might seem obvious, but you know, there are many, many times where a game comes out either originally on PC moving to console, or going from console and then coming to PC. And it's, you know, it's met with some new players, but I really honestly feel I've been checking things up, and like, the thing, I'm seeing such positive perception from console players. And again, we can naysay this and be like, well, these are just people who may be purely console gamers, and I've seen this talked about on forums before, and it might just be their first experience to an MMO, and you could go, well, they would have better experience if they played this game instead. But for me, it's really exciting to, first of all, be able to have this sort of MMO experience. If you know anything about me, you know I like these types of games. I really, really get into them, as we're talking about here. But it's very cool for me to have this experience with a lot of people who have never played MMOs before, and just to see them enjoying it. You know, it's great that they're enjoying this game, but it also maybe opens them up to dip their toe into PC gaming and start to foray towards PC MMOs in the future. That possibility makes me very happy, because I enjoy these games, these style of games so much. I want to see more and more of them produced, and we're constantly hearing stories about MMOs failing left and right. You know, WildStar announced that I think it's going fully free to play. I have to, again, I need to fact check before I make videos, don't I? But you know, SOTOR launched it with subscription, goes to buy to play. ESO launch subscription goes to buy to play. But ESO coming to console, it's been getting a ton of positive reviews on the console, user reviews, mind you. We're not talking about like official websites. I don't know how or if they've even been re-reviewing the game, but it seems like it's been met with arms wide open. And I don't know if that may be because the initial wave of people who first came to this game hoping for Skyrim co-op, basically, and getting an MMO instead with Elder Scrolls skin. I don't know if those people were just, now they're out of the picture because they already found out that they tried this game and didn't like what it had to offer. And so now we're just getting people who are like, oh, let me try this. It's a MMO version of Elder Scrolls. Well, I played Skyrim on the Xbox a couple of years ago or whatever. I'd like to try this. And people coming in and be like, this is really cool. And now we're playing with tons of people. Yeah, the gameplay is a little bit different, maybe a little watered down, but it's still pretty fun. And it's just good to see. It's good to see people enjoying games. I feel like we are constantly just bombarded, just day after day after day, and I'm guilty of it myself. Just complaining about gaming. It's like sometimes I feel like we do more criticizing of this hobby that we're supposed to enjoy than we do of actually enjoying it. And that criticism comes from a place with love, of course, because we're criticizing things because we want them to be better. But I think sometimes it's just nice to enjoy something despite what other people may say. And that's what I'm doing with ESO right now. There will be people who tell me I'm a freaking idiot for enjoying this game because it's trash, or because it doesn't play like prior Elder Scrolls games, or because it's on, you know, you can come up with things that you don't like about anything, really, until the cows come home. But despite all of that, that's always thrown my way whenever I talk about this game. I like it, and I'm gonna keep playing it until I feel like not playing it anymore. And once I stop playing it, it's not the end of the world. It just means I've moved on to something else, and that's fine too. That's fine. Everything's cool, man. Everything's zen. Let's just take it easy and try to enjoy the week. Yeah, I had a particularly good weekend, so I'm in a good mood. I'm not letting anyone bring me down, even if it's myself talking to myself about people who could be talking about me in the future, and myself reflecting on that self-discussion. What? All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this little conversational video. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. I had a great time two-manning this dungeon with my good pal, Danko. Thanks. I'll see you guys later. More ESO coverage and discussion will be coming in the future. Not sure in what form, because it's like people have already shown off all the content that there is to be seen in this game. So it might just be more things like this. Or maybe I'll show you some of my veteran stuff once I get that cracking. But anyway, have a great afternoon. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to be getting right back into all the videos that you know and love. And then maybe some more. All right. Have a good one. I'll see you later.
Very well. You'll die in their stead. You've beaten me? How amusing.